Hey YouTube world, what's going on? Mark here, back in the TST garage with another video. And today we have a product feature video. We are going to be discussing our all new Ninja 400 WORX Airbox and high performance intake system. Now this product feature will be a little different. I'm actually gonna have a co-host, the man you know and love. Bart is going to come in and join me for a nice Q&A on this product.
What's up, you guys?
And we're gonna break it down to the nitty gritty. So before we get into this, obviously we have this airbox in front of us. What is this? Can you give us a brief overview on this product?
It's a dust buster. It's a glorified dust buster. It sucks.
Literally.
It sucks. Yeah, it does.
Literally.
Anyway, so this is a high performance intake system for good old Bessie Ninja 400 race bike here. It is not super sport legal. It is really for unlimited classes, but what do we mean by high performance, really? I mean, is the OEM setup low performance?
Well, and this is all relative to the stock airbox.
Right.
So
high performance is really a subjective and relative term. Are we beating any ramjet intakes? Probably not. Are we providing more power output and torque output than the stock airbox configuration? Yes. We'll get into how we measured that upgrade in power in just a little bit. First, let's talk about slight differences here. As you can see, the OEM airbox has very restrictive filter element. It has these rubber velocity stack funnels, and it has been designed with compromises. So, what do I mean by that? The OEMs have strict governmental rules that they have to abide by. They have certain mass production requirements. They have budgets that they have to actually abide by. These are, don't mistake them for race bikes. Originally from the showroom floor, they are commuters for the Asian market. We've just adopted them into racing, and we have a lot of fun banging elbows on these things. We want to squeeze more and more out of them, and it's been since 2018 that we've been beating this bike, and all of our friends who race the small classes have been racing these little bikes, and we've pretty much tapped out a lot of the resources that can be grasped with just doing super sport stuff, and we wanted to transition into more super bike component design, and this is why we started this design. This originally started in my head as a fun project to extend the performance on these bikes because I was starting to hit a wall with what I can expect to make out of this bike with just regular parts that we've been accustomed to. And I actually started drawing some stuff. We started 3D scanning, and at that same time, I started talking to Alex, who since then has become one of our engineers here, moved across state lines and joined us here on our team. He was actually at the same time working on a similar project where he already had some design work put in, and he actually purchased a 3D printer, and he's starting to prototype and test these things. So
from his house? From
his house, yeah, while he was an engineer for a different company that had nothing to do with motorsports.
Kind of like the meeting of two minds.
It was just like,
perfect storm.
Hey man, we got something that we're considering making, both of us. I actually own a company that does this stuff and produces it and markets it. So it was just the perfect blend of a good starting point.
So in short, why would someone want it? What is the benefit of our airbox?
Well, people buy an exhaust, a full exhaust for the bike to extend the performance. The performance extends through better volumetric efficiency in the motor. You get more exhaust out, more fresh mixture can come in, replace the gases, get compressed, bang, you're making torque. Now, on the intake side, there aren't many solutions out there on the market to do pretty much the same on the intake side that the exhaust does. I'm really not getting into detail here. There's acoustics involved,
yeah.
there's flow convergence involved. There's a lot of concepts that you have to consider. But when you break it down to just the simple things, the exhaust is already figured out since, I don't know, since the 60s,
yeah.
Right? It's the same principle. Not many companies are providing entire intakes.
We do see a few companies out there that make velocity stacks alone.
Yeah.
We actually toyed around with that on the R3 and for the Ninja 400.
Yeah, I mean, we launched these way before the Airbox, and they're still available by themselves. for those guys that want to run super sport legal. And in some race organizations, take the lid off, you replace these guys, and that's considered legal. We've checked into that.
Yep.
We have confirmation from ASRA and CCS that is super sport legal for these bikes. This took a lot of engineering and design and work and testing and redesign, and we sunk a lot of money and time into this. Hopefully it'll be worth it. Hopefully guys out there will enjoy it.
Now we have done some dyno testing.
Yes.
And in the ideal parameters, obviously everything is relative, right? So in our setting, in our dyno in good old Florida, in the middle of nowhere,
you want me to quote numbers? Since
for the numberologists out there.
Since it's all relative, we have decided to publish our findings, our claims for the performance increase of this system in percentage.
Yep.
So that way, you guys out there, you have your bike at the dyno and you're making X number at the peak and you're seeing the curve look like this. What we're claiming as the increase in performance is given in percentage, where you can kind of see
scale that
what we saw and just scale it by that factor. So like, if you're seeing a peak number of 52 horsepower on your bike, you'll have...
You can potentially...
you will likely have a higher peak by the percentage that we claim. Now, we are redeveloping some of the tunes and things as we go along. We're still, even though the product is launched, we continue to polish the product, and we will continue doing that for the life cycle of this product. So anything I can claim now may change in a half a year, or once we have another season of experience working with these parts, we may be able to squeeze more and more out of it. So I don't really want to hang my hat on anything in this video. For you guys out there that want to see the actual data, the product page on tstindustries.com for this system will have the most up-to-date info on that. You'll see dyno charts, you'll see our best claims at the moment,
written
of
numbers,
what we've done.
Everything.
Yeah.
Now, to install this, how does this install? Is it a true bolt-on performance piece?
More or less, right? We are not opening this up to ABS models because people that use ABS typically aren't racers. They're not in a race setting. I have not met a high-end racer on one of these machines with ABS. So being that the ABS pump for the brakes sits right here, mounts right in the way of where our intake inlet sits, you would have to move your ABS pump. We don't want that. Okay. That I discourage people that own an ABS model from purchasing and installing this part.
But technically, for you riders out there who do have ABS, if you're really gung-ho and you want to buy this piece, as long as you remove safely your ABS system and do it in a clean way, you can mount this with one caveat.
Yeah, the bracket for the ABS pump is actually present here, and it's still in the way. It will make contact. It has a little bit of interference. So what we recommend doing is bending it down.
You could check that out in our installation video.
We have an installation video showing the actual installation flow. It's really simple.
That tab is present on every frame model, whether you have ABS or not, so just keep that in mind.
They prepped the frame for ABS and non-ABS models. It's been the same since 2018. It'll likely be the same for the rest of the years of production.
What is included in this kit? Obviously, when you see it in this present form, it's one piece, but a lot went into it. So in short, does it come with velocity stacks that are shown here?
Yes.
And does it include an air filter? And what's that maintenance like? All right,
so we have our air filter that is proprietary to this airbox, and we provide it pre-oiled, pre-assembled in the kit for you. We recommend that just like any high-performance filter, you inspect it and re-oil it, clean it and re-oil it after every racing event.
And we do have replacement air filters available via purchasing on our website. Just be able to reach out to us and you can actually purchase a new air filter when the time comes.
Yeah, I mean, these things don't really wear out. It's a similar kind of foam like MWR filters and some other foam element filters out there. You could use the same type of oil and detergent on them. Just don't blow compressed air through there and you'll be fine. If you want a spare to have a drop-in at the races, that's when we recommend buying an extra one. You will not have, it's not a wear item.
Okay.
It won't wear out on you. If you're okay just cleaning it and re-oiling it, you're good to go. Now I said this comes pre-installed, pre-oiled, so we want you to be able to just install this on the bike and go when you get it. So the stacks are actually installed in here.
These are our V2 velocity stacks.
Yes. So we have redesigned our stacks to complement what this intake system does better than our V1 stacks. We are moving all the power up high, down low. We are sacrificing any of the power gains, torque gains that you may have. These bikes usually see 8,000 RPM and up. If you're riding anywhere below that, you're not riding in a track race setting. Probably shouldn't be considering this sort of a part. So, to just summarize what you get, you basically get this. The brackets and the hardware for the mounting are broken down in a baggie, but you get this whole thing pre-built. I'm not gonna go over the steps of the installation. That's what our installation video is for. But a quick summary is you get this thing in, you put these brackets on, you remove all the OEM junk, you put it back in, screw it in, put your tank on, and then you go have some fun.
Now, we see a few different materials. Why did we go with this manufacturing method?
Well, that ties back to the high performance, right? We want to do away with as much mass as possible because that's what we do. I mean, we want to lower these bikes' weight so we're not dragging around.
We actually have a TST weight loss program that's been in effect since 2007, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, with our racers, we go, I bet them pound for pound, and then I try to drop the machine weight as they try to take weight off their body, and that has differing effects on certain people, but we've been pretty successful. Our R3 Superbike that we had a show about on YouTube, we got that down to 276 pounds race wet.
And with this, we're actually taking off 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, so just the airbox conversion, when you take all these heavy polypropylene parts off and replace them with the higher end material components, you're shedding 2.5 pounds, which is really nice.
And that's in the form of carbon fiber?
Yes, we chose carbon fiber because of its stiffness and its resiliency to forces. We want to have the nose cone as stiff as possible. This is nylon, so all the rest of the components are nylon.
And these are actually made in-house in our TST headquarters here.
Yeah, so we sinter these parts. It's kind of intricate to make this part in any other technology, so sintering has become our go-to for this kind of a component. Down the road, I'm thinking about possibly redesigning this to injection molded, but the mold package is probably going to be pretty hefty.
We'll see how that goes.
We can do that. We just need to know that there's actual interest in these parts, and that way we could cover the cost of making mold the size of a Volkswagen, really.
So we have carbon fiber here, censored here, and then obviously a foam filter.
Right.
We talked about it not fitting the ABS models. We also know it shares the same OEM airbox part number as the Z400. So Ninja 400 and Z400. We haven't installed this on a Z400. We don't find many of them.
I actually haven't met a racer that started with the Z400, but maybe they're out there.
Yeah, they do. The part numbers do match, so ideally they should fit. We have not confirmed that yet in-house, but you should be good to go. Now,
I've taken one of those bikes apart myself, and it shares a
lot
lot of the components. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't be able to put it on, but there may be some complications with tabs or some other things that have been welded to that frame. I don't know.
Now, the last question, the biggest question, you mentioned it earlier in the video that we spoke with Astra and CCS techs. The velocity stacks are good to go. Is the entire system racing approved? Is this sanctioned for racing?
Well, it depends what classes you're racing in.
Because we race, this is being used in the superbike class.
Yeah,
where you can
do
anything.
Moto, well, technically
within reason.
A lot of things, not anything. Moto classes, GT classes, and superbike classes, no issue. Super sport classes, if you put this on, you're asking for a DQ.
And Moto America Junior Cup, definitely not legal.
Yeah, but those guys know already.
Yep.
Hopefully somebody will pine over this from there and give us some recognition.
Yeah.
But, you know, Over time, we've done so much testing on these bikes, and we also validated that testing. Got a couple of these to the credit. I think we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So this has been a deep look at the TST WORX Airbox for the Kawasaki Ninja 400 and high performance intake system. Bart, I thank you for your time. You are a busy man.
Thank you,
for
guys.
any of you people out there who are watching this and you're not a Ninja 400 owner, I'm sure there's going to be at least one comment. Where's the MT09 TL Lite? This is why you don't see him anymore, because he's been working on this. But for now, this has been Mark from TST, Bart as well. We'll catch you guys next time. Ride safe. Don't forget to check out our website. All the links in the description will relate to this product. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and as always, visit our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all username TST Industries. We'll catch you guys next time. Ride safe.